Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to do something a little bit different. Recently the CFA Institute launched a new certificate, the certificate in private markets in alternative investments. And what I'm going to do is basically try to make a little bit of a comparison between this new certificate and also the CAIA charter, which is provided by the CAIA Association. For those who don't know, the CAIA charter is the charter in alternative investment analyst, and this program is very focused on alternative investments, and apparently the CFA Institute is trying to stretch a little bit more further its own portfolio of certificates to provide to the public. And what I'm trying to do is make a little bit of a sort of a head-to-head, try to explain its advantages and disadvantages in each option for you potential candidates to make the best decision in terms of which one should you choose depending on your current situation, your characteristics, your objectives, and all that. So let's move into it. Basically, because this is a fairly new product, the certificate from the CFA Institute in private markets and alternative investments, it covers also several fields like private equity, private credit, also hedge funds and real estate and infrastructure. And on the surface, it appears that the curriculum tries to give an overview, very encompassing overview of all of these topics. And as far as I could tell by looking at the curriculum, it does not go very deep on each of these topics. The objective is just to provide a foundational, as they say, a foundational knowledge, an overview, without going too much into the detail of these investments. Also, one feature that I find, it's original, it's interesting, is that it also includes sections in which professionals that work in each of these fields provide some insights to the candidate. So you get a first-hand perspective on each of these markets from a professional that works in this particular field. So I think it's interesting, but on the other hand, I find it somewhat skeptical in a way that will it provide additional value to the candidate and to improve his knowledge? Probably not so much, because since the objective of the curriculum is to provide a foundational knowledge, getting additional insights from a professional without going too much into the detail, I believe that these insights will not go too much into the deep dive of each of these investments. And so I believe that it may not provide that much value, but of course, feel free to disagree. And if you end up tackling the certificate, feel free to let me know in the comments whether my perspective is somewhat incorrect, because of course we are trying to always to learn from each other and of course add up to the discussion in a useful way. So basically, making a comparison with the CAIA charter, it appears that this certificate is a little bit more similar to the level 1 of the CAIA charter, and by making this comparison in terms of the curriculum of the level 1 of the CAIA charter is still deeper, because it covers more topics, because it covers also statistical methods, risk and performance metrics. It also covers the ethics and the standards of practice from the CFA Institute. So making a comparison, if you go head to head, you will get more knowledge just by doing the CAIA charter, the level one, than just doing this new certificate from the CFA Institute. So I think if you want to get a little bit more specialized and know a little bit further, I think still the level one of the CAIA charter will give you more than just a foundational knowledge in that regard. So the question now is, for a particular candidate who wants to choose one of these, which option should he choose? And I think the answer, it depends on the particular circumstances of the candidate and what basically he prefers to tackle. So the most important decision that he has to make, or the most important factor that he has to consider, is that what is he looking for, or what basically is going to be the use of the knowledge that he will get. It's just for basically knowledge purpose. Will it be to apply in his day-to-day work? So this is very, very important, and I believe that if the candidate's goal is just to get a superficial knowledge, of course the certificate of the CFA Institute is better, because it provides just that. You get a certificate at the end just by having this kind of knowledge. And so yeah, that would be the way to go if you just want to learn a little bit more without going too much deeper. You just scratch the surface on these topics. But if you want to go deeper in this field, of course the CAIA is a much better option. Also, another factor which is also important is the time that the candidate has available to study and to prepare for the exams, because even in of course in the CAIA charter you have to tackle 2 exams for each level, one for each level. And for the new certificate of the CFA Institute, you have to tackle 5 assignments, basically 1 for each course, and you have a final assessment. And so the CFA Institute tells that this new certificate should require preparation of between 70 and 90 hours, which is much less, and of course understandably so, than each level of the CAIA charter, which should require around, or at least 200 hours to adequately prepare for each exam. So if you have less time because you work in a very demanding job, you have also very strict family commitments, and you cannot afford to devote too much time to study or to acquire some new knowledge in this field, of course the certificate would be a better option. But if you have the time and you feel that you can devote more of your effort and time to expand your knowledge into this particular field, the CAIA charter is a better option. Another factor, which for some people may be a little bit more relevant, for some people maybe less, is the price. So the price of this new certificate of the CFA Institute, it costs 899 euros. For me, I would say it's a quite expensive price. It's a quite steep price, because it's not because of the value itself on absolute terms, but you pay $900 roughly, and what do you get? You get some foundational overview, or basically an overview of several of these concepts, or these particular investments within the alternative investment world. You don't necessarily cover everything. You don't cover as many fields of investment as the CAIA charter. For example, you don't do derivatives. You don't do volatility strategies, which is pertaining to derivatives, of course. But I think for the price itself, it's not a competitive price. I think it's very pricey. And putting into perspective, just for you to compare, today, if you want to register and register in an early registration for one level of the CFA program, you pay 940 euros. And the content is so much richer that you see that the difference in terms of value that you get for the money that you pay, I think it does not even compare. One level of the CFA program requires 300 hours to study, at least, as they say, for a reason, because the content is much deeper, it's much richer, while you're paying basically the same to get a foundational knowledge of these topics of topics in alternative investments. I don't think it's a good investment. And even if you compare, for example, for one level of the CAIA charter, if you do, of course, an early registration, one level is 995 euros. So, and the richness of the content is also much greater in that particular program. Of course, you don't get any certificate at the end, but if you think about it, the entire value of the entire price of the charter, the CAIA charter, if you go always for the early registrations and you sit for the two exams, it's about 2,390 euros. Of course, it's more than double, but the content is so much richer. The knowledge that you get is so much higher. So if you dilute that much higher price for 2 years instead of just 1 year, for example, or over two exams, I think you get the feeling that, all right, I'm paying considerably more. It's more than double, but still the value that I get is much higher. And this topic is even better, is even more lopsided towards the CAIA charter for candidates which are CFA charter holders, because CFA charter holders who try to get the CAIA charter can skip the level 1 exam and sit just for level 2 through the stackable credential program that the CAIA Association provides. So by doing that, the cost of getting the CAIA charter is only about 1,395 euros, something like that, because you have to pay a fee for just it's a subscription or the for you to enter the program, and so it's much different in terms of the richness of the curriculum and the price. If you happen to be a charter holder, the price difference is not that higher. Is about 400 euros more. So I think 400 more. So sorry, 500 more. And so I think it's not that big of a deal for most people who work in the financial industry. So overall, in my view, I think putting all of this together, I would say the CAIA charter is a better option because of the content that you get in terms of the value and the knowledge, and how can you apply into your role if you work in the financial industry. I think it's much better. Now, I've been wondering, and this topic is a little bit more is a little bit more lateral, which is personally, I believe that this is not a wise move from the CFA Institute, because in putting out such a certificate, because if in a commercial, from a commercial perspective, I would say that, all right, you putting out something, a different package for candidates to go for, and of course you try to make some revenue out of it. But for me, being a worse product than the benchmark in the field of alternative investments, which is the CAIA program, I think it's a losing proposition. It doesn't help in any way, and I think that candidates, if you compare then at the end the knowledge of a candidate that goes for this certificate and a candidate that ends up going through the program, the CAIA program, I think the difference is going to be much bigger in terms of the knowledge, and I don't think it's much worth it. Also, another thing is that uh, this may lead. I think it's unlikely, but I think this may lead in some way uh, to some strained relations between the CFA Institute and the CAIA Association. I know that, and this has been on the news in the financial media, that sometimes they throw a little bit of shots at each other because yeah, basically stuff that goes on between them. And I think that the CF Institute, by trying to uh, basically stretch his range of products into a field in which basically it's the bread and butter of the CAIA Association, I don't think it's a wise move. And whether something may come out of it, it would not be good for candidates because, for example, it is not without any unreasonable expectation that, for example, the waiver that CFA charter holders get when they try to tackle the CAIA program, meaning the waiver on the level 1 exam, if things may go wrong, uh, this waiver may be discontinued, and a CFA charter holder who wants to tackle the CAIA charter may end up having to sit for 2 exams instead of just one, even though the 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 level 1 of the CAIA charter has a great overlap in terms of its content of the content of its curriculum with the CFA program. So I think this is not a good move, and basically because I know that in the same way that the CAIA Association gives a waiver to CFA charter holders, I already heard that the CAIA Association tried to liaise with the CFA Institute to try also for CAIA charter holders try to get a waiver on the level one exam of the CFA program, and the CFA Institute declined that request because it feels that the amount of overlap between the CAIA program and the level 1 of the CFA program uh, is not enough for you to grant a waiver. So this sort of asymmetrical behavior that exists has somewhat kindled some strained relationships, and I think this is not a good move because I think the most beneficial way for candidates would be, all right, CFA Institute focus, of course, in new fields such as AI and how can you use machine learning and everything and all that, besides their mainstay, their bread and butter program, which is the CFA program, which is, of course, the gold standard in terms of the investment industry, no doubt about it. And on the other hand, you have this association, the CAIA Association, that provides a product, a very unique product. It's somewhat a niche product in which anyone who works in the financial industry who wants to know more about alternative investments has this product which can be tackled for you to get a very deep knowledge in terms of alternative investments. And so for me, I think this is the way it should be. This is the way it would be more beneficial for candidates, the current and the future. And so I think, yeah, uh, some second thoughts must be given to this by the CFA Institute. But of course, uh, market competition is the way it is, and so yeah, basically only they know their own objectives when they launch this product into the market. But yeah, just for me, of course, this is just an opinion of mine. I don't want to give any sort of lopsided goals or circumstances between both of them. For me, it's just about giving an opinion. Of course, I'm a CFA charter holder. I also passed the CAIA level 2 exam, and so for me, I don't have any particular interest towards one to the detriment of the other. But of course, I think it's just useful for me because I tackled both programs, for me to give my opinion to current and future candidates so that you can make your decisions in the best possible way. And so, yeah, this wraps it up the video. Thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and if you want to send me a message, discuss this topic a little bit further, please do, no problem. I'll be happy to connect with you guys and share my thoughts and discuss these topics with you. And we'll be in touch until the next video. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Thank you.